Customer satisfaction is extremely important to Remain Software, and providing exceptional software and support is a tenet of their business. And our clog-wearing colleagues from the Netherlands have now been doing this for 25 years, delivering on a commitment of quarterly updates and releases. So, with the recent release of TDOMS version 16.1 on a rainy afternoon in July 2024, I spoke to Wim Jongman, owner and technical officer at Remain Software, to learn what's new and what to expect.
So we have VS Code integration, we have a bunch of new REST services available for our customers. Command line interface APIs, Kanban improvements as well, very nice.
Excellent. Now I know that you're always very, very keen to get customer feedback and they help you drive forward the product.
Yes.
Do you use customer feedback from previous versions to help with this particular update?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically we do almost everything based on customer feedback. There's a bunch of them implemented. So one, for example, is we had a customer that was doing a really large task. So there were about, 200, 300 components, programs and files under one task. And the question was, okay, can this be a little bit more usable? And we basically implemented that in a month. But there's about, maybe let's say 20 of those improvements per release. So at least 100 have been implemented in version 16 over the last year.
Good Lord, Wim, that's quite the achievement.
It is,
Keeps you busy, no doubt.
It does.
Now, I see in this release, and I'm paraphrasing your own marketing here, if this release is to unleash development speed and efficiency. So could you please provide a little insight into how this new release achieves just this?
All right. Okay. So there is. So what we have seen is a big improvement in speed because we are using our new REST APIs internally as well. So to explain this is how can you go to the IBM I? Well, you can load a tape, save it, and then send the tape to somebody, and then let them restore it, right? That's very slow.
Yes.
You can use, for example, JDBC services, which have been the go-to access to our backend for a long time. It has been used in most of the applications. And what we see today is REST services. And REST services, they skip a whole part of the JDBC overhead. You don't have to go into a different language. For example, Java to start something up. You don't have to go over the network to get some data, even though it is internally. So REST services, they are really, really speeding up the access times on the IBM I. That is just unbelievable. It can sometimes be a factor 10 faster compared to JDBC access.
Wow, that is quite the improvement. Now,
and that is just the access to the data. We also have improved access to programmer productivity. For example, if you save a source, the next thing that you want to do is you want to compile it, right? So in modern systems like Java, TypeScript, when you save a source, the IDE takes over and basically compiles the program immediately. Mm-hmm. And these kind of productivity enhancements we have also implemented inside TDOMS. So as soon as you save, we queue the source for compilation, which makes it, of course, a lot more productive. So that's basically two things that we have done to increase programmer productivity.
Now, Wim, one of the really interesting new developments is the release of a new web development environment. Could you expand on this?
So of course we see the web, right? And the web with the browsers, it gives you an instant application on your desktop. You don't need to install anything, it's just there. And that is the kind of experience that we also wanted to provide our users. So inside TDOMS, we have our the tasks inside TDOMS. You can see, okay, you just go to https://octoremainsoftware.com/org/remain. Unfortunately, that's not the only thing we need to do, right? We need to set up a link to your IBM I over the VPN, because that is where your data is. But once you have established this, you can see things like this, right? So we have our tasks on the left side, in the middle of, and the left and the right side, we have the components attached to it. We can just click on any source, and then the source editor is loaded. In this case, it's an old style RPG. So these kind of functions are available in our web editor. We have the spool files available. You can just double click and it loads the spool files, and all is done through the REST services, so you can see that it is really very fast. And then, of course, what is also very nice, if you could have a visual representation of your development work, right? So in this case, let me just, so what you can see here is that the Kanban board is being populated, and we can visualize our work basically in a Kanban style. And even when I do a drag and drop like this, we can do the deployments automatically, going from development to test and integration.
That's actually very powerful. So it's all graphical now.
Yeah. So the idea is that the administrators, they will set up the Octo or the web environment visual makeup, right? So, okay, tasks on the left, details on the right, spool files in the bottom, Kanban in the middle, things like that. And then the administrator just sends out an invite link to the developers and say, hey, come work on this. And then the developers see their task, can work with it through the web, and work with Octo like that. So this is our the first official release where developers can create tasks, attach components, do editing, and then do compilation, debugging, sort of, right, by looking at the spool files, not a full debugger implemented yet, and then do a promotion from development to test to finally to the remote production environment. And as an added bonus, everything that is running in the web browser is also running inside VS Code. So you can see your tasks in VS Code, you can see your attached components, and then double clicking will open the beautiful editors within VS Code. So it's also fully integrated with them.
Thank you very much for your time, Wim. I do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Where can people download the latest release?
Well, they can just go to the usual channels, right? So in the download section on our website, if it is set up, they can even pull it in directly from their IBM I with the display pin OMS function or the check update OMS function.
Excellent release as always, Wim. We look forward to the next one.
Yes, well, we're already busy. The first nightly build of Milestone 1 version 17 is already on the website, so we just keep on pushing.
Terrific. Thank you very much for the update. Do appreciate that, Wim, and appreciate your time, and I'm sure our customers will really enjoy downloading and having a go at Octo.
You're welcome, Andy.
My thanks again to Wim for taking the time to speak with me on the latest release of 16.1 of TDOMS. For more details on this and other releases, please see our website at proximity.co.uk or Remain's website at remainsoftware.com. My name is Andy Nicholson. I am from Proximity, the IBM I partner that are in your corner. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.